The new Super EZA Kid BUU is amazing, but is he worth your hard-earned red coins? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the Super EZA Fizz Kid BUU and deciding whether or not we should spend 150 of our hard-earned red coins in order to pick this guy up. So, as always, we want to make sure we look at the unit and look at any possible factors coming ahead that may influence that decision, especially when we're dealing with an older Dokkan Fest who recently just got an EZA or Super EZA. So let's go ahead, let's hop on in, let's take a look at what this guy is doing. So, upon his Super EZA, not much changes in regards to his lead and to his super attack effects, right? So he's keeping the same lead he had, and his super attack effect is still just doing no defense raise or anything, that just simply lowering defense. Where the major changes occur for this guy on his Super EZA is in his passive. He gets attack and defense 150%, he performs a critical hit chance 20%, and reduces damage received by 20%. He also has an additional attack and defense 250% when performing a super attack. Now, this is the thing that everybody loves about him. When HP is 70% or more, all allies get to key 2 and attack and defense 50%, plus an additional 1 key and attack defense 10% for super class allies, and an additional key 2 and 20% attack and defense for extreme class allies. That is right. For super class allies, he is a 60% support unit, and for extreme class, he is a 70% support. I can't tell you how big 70% is, right? That is 10% less than the GT Duo's buff, right? And we all know how insane the GT Duo's buff is for 80% attack. So this guy, given 70%, right, can make some units do some wild things, right? You guys have already seen on the channel how he works with the Buhan. He kind of makes Buhan go crazy, right? Now just imagine any other extreme type unit you can run. That 70% BUU is giving him is ridiculous. Still good for the super class allies on those teams that you can run them on. There are a few, however, I mean, we do have other 50 to 60% type supports for them, like, so that's not something we haven't seen before. Now, unfortunately, when you fall below 69%, he just becomes a regular 50% support for super class and extreme class. So I mean, it's not terrible. He's still supporting, it's just across the board 50% for extreme, and he also gets an additional chance of performing a critical hit 20% up to 40%, and an additional reduction up to 40% every time he receives two attacks in battle, right? So he can get up to 60% damage reduction every time he receives 2 hits. He also recovers 10% HP at the turn in which he receives 2 attacks or more in battle once within the turn. So like all Majin Power units, they all have that sort of healing effect. So he is really, really good. His function is floating support. He's not meant to remain on rotation. He's just really meant to kind of float and support each of the rotations that he ends up turning on, and obviously for reasons, right? Like, he doesn't have any staying power in terms of defense. In fact, I think he at 55% he caps out somewhere around 500k defense with additional 60% damage reduction, and I think at 69 to 79%, he gets a little bit higher, around, you know, 600 to 800k, but not much higher than that. Plus, simply due to the fact that, right, he's not getting anything on super besides that 250%, and he doesn't get anything for doing an additional super because there's no super attack effect. So whatever's in his passive is what he gets, and that's pretty much how they've handled every Super EZA so far. And so far, it's turned out to make them quite good. But the question is it good enough to spend your hard-earned red coins? After all, since we do have a Dokkan Fest category banner that brought forth this guy back, he's available on the banner along with all these other units. I think the only other Dokkan Fest here is the End Kid BUU. So that means you can purchase him for 150 red coins. So the question is he worth it? Well, there's a couple of factors to consider, right? In the past, if we come back here, I think as far back as right here. So the Worldwide 2023, this was the Future Saga themed celebration. This was the last time he was available with this red dragon stone. After this date, the red dragon stone reset, and now it basically bumped up all previous Dokkan Fest. So the 90% leads and then the 120% leads are now the available categories. Although Gogeta, Janemba, and Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta are in here still, so I mean that's neither here nor there, but it basically bumped all of those guys up onto it, and this one was released in December. Now with the most recent one, right, we can see that no Dokkan Fests are available here. Now that would have been crazy if they have offered them here, but we kind of knew they weren't going to do that. You can see that it's the same list, right, up to the 120s, including Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and Super Saiyan Gogeta, Super Gogeta. Now, what's interesting is they added back to the list the previous Super EZA, now, which is the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, back when Super Saiyan 3 EZA came out, right, a lot of people were justifying that we may never see him again, and that's why you need to get 150 red coins. Well, I have a theory that this is basically how they're going to get around it. So right now, he's not available because he's Super Easy, and they want to force you to use your 150 red coins from this banner or to summon on this banner for him, right? Because you're not going to summon on this banner if he's available. However, when we enter Worldwide this year, whatever that ends up being, I think they might add him back in, just like they did with the Super Saiyan 3 EZA Goku. I feel like we could definitely see that happen, giving you a chance to pick him up again. On top of that, right, Worldwide also has these two Dokkan Fest banners, right? The Dokkan Fest A and B banners. It pretty much goes all the way up to the Dokkan Fests, I think, right before Global's anniversary the year prior. So this one, or not Global's anniversary, JP's Tanabata, right? So this one will go up to last year's Golden Week units and then include the June Dokkan Fest for Global. So it'll be interesting, but what it will include, right, is every single Dokkan Fest available, unless they change it up, right? And what that means is that on one of the banners, if you summon, we'll have characters like the Kid BUU or the Super Saiyan 3 Goku who got their Super EZA. Now remember, right, in order to get tickets for this, you have to have spent stones, and then eventually you'll be able to trade your Memorial Dragon stones you get for from the celebration for tickets. However many stones you spent throughout the year determine how many tickets you get, right? And you know, you may get lucky. You could count on this. It is something worth note. You may try to bank on this later. It's not guaranteed, but it is there. And I wanted to throw all of these factors in before I say yes or no, because knowing how they treated Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, who, by the way, is on the current availability on both Global and JP, and the fact that they brought AGL Goku, makes me want to say that no, I do not think you should spend your 150 red coins on this Kid BUU, even if you're missing him, right? Simply because I feel like he will come back during the Worldwide on this red dragon stone. This will kind of be their way around getting these guys out to players, especially because many of these guys have not been available for a long time. They also are probably assuming most people who have been playing for a while probably have a few copies of these guys, so that's probably kind of why they're doing it the way they're doing. We can't say for sure, but I can say that I have a pretty strong feeling based on how this one is handled that he is coming back whenever we get our next Dragonstone. So I do not think you should spend the 150 coins to summon for this guy. So guys, that is it for the video. That is it for my recommendation on whether or not you should spend coins for him. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, did you decide to spend coins on him? Understandable if you do. I don't think you should unless you're swimming in red coins, but it's definitely worth considering that there are going to be options in the future. But I would love to know what you decided to do in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.